Welcome back to HalloweenHaunts365.com, the podcast. I'm Jared. This is Terry.
Hi.
Tonight, we're going to take a look into HHN Orlando and their 30 Years of Fear. I'm going to stop it right now because we need subscribers, so click subscribe. Go to Spotify, Apple iPod, on your old iPod, click Apple Podcast, and go to HalloweenHaunts365.com and subscribe. We have a lot of content coming. This will probably be coming out 9 days from now, because I have two others loaded up. But tonight, we're going to take a look at HHN 360, Halloween Horror Nights, coming out of Universal Studios Orlando. And we have with us someone that's been working with the site since the site started about 7 years ago.
It's been 7 years already?
Yes.
My bad for cutting you off.
Well, here's John.
Hi, John.
Yeah, it's been 7 years.
Wow.
So, John, tell us a little bit about yourself, when you started going to all these haunts, when you started making HHN a yearly trip, stuff like that.
So like Jared said, I've been with the site 7 years. Started doing haunts actually since I started working at one back in the day at Casola Farms. Don't recommend that place whatsoever. It was, yeah. But started mainly doing haunts back in 15. Started going to different states, PA. I actually went to Cali 1 year, and that was one trip that I regret doing. But started doing Florida 2015 through 2016. I started going like every single year, just because they're one of the best.
Yeah,
honestly,
Orlando does a good job. It's worth the trip just for the production value.
Not even just for Universal, for like all the other haunts they do too. Screamageddon, which that place is amazing. Screamageddon.
That's in is that
Paint City,
okay.
Tampa.
So yeah. It's the individual. It's not a theme park haunt.
No.
All right. So, wow. So you've been going every year for 6 years now. Every year to Orlando. Yeah. Wow, that's impressive. So before we get into HHN, since you've been to a lot of the haunts we've been to and so far and so forth, what's your favorite haunt?
Reaper's Revenge.
Reaper's Revenge. Wow.
Either Reaper's, Brighton, or Field of Screams.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It just really always comes down to that, doesn't it? There's three.
There are like a few hit and miss places, and there also are like a lot of few sleeper hits, like Nightmare at Gravity Hill, which I just sent the review over to you.
Yep. It's in the
Scare Farm.
Scare Farm?
Yeah, that one's depending on the night, it's okay.
I gotcha.
But yeah, honestly, I feel like Jersey is not as good as PA when it comes to haunts.
Yeah, I'd agree. Jersey needs a couple more to contend, but
yeah,
I'd still like Jersey better than other states too. So I mean, we're getting there. All right, so one last question before we dive into this HHN review. What's your favorite scary movie? Since Scream's coming out, I'm gonna.
Is this because of the new Scream movie coming out? I might get a little hate for this, but I don't care. Halloween 2008 or 2007.
Oh, well, I'm not giving you any heat because that's my favorite horror movie.
Hey, it was honestly a good movie. It was different.
It was intense. Michael was crazy. I love backstories in horror. It hit all the marks, even though it had.
I think people just wanted to hate it because it was Rob Zombie.
They did.
Honestly.
They did. And we're going to get a lot of hate for that. But you know what? I don't care because I love that movie.
Exactly.
I mean,
like the costume was perfect. The mask was well done.
Yeah. The guy was
new
huge.
one I'm actually excited about. That I'm going to see opening night maybe.
What's that?
The new Halloween.
Halloween Kills?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah, that's my favorite overall scary movie. I mean, I go back and forth between that and Nightmare on Elm Street because I have a problem, but it is what it is. All right, so I'm going to just go off the list that HHN has to make it easier so we're not fumbling with papers and everything. So talk to us about The Haunting of Hill House.
I'm happy you started with that house. So that house, scenic-wise, beautiful. Hands down, the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Just the facade, excuse me. Well done. Credit to them. Everything else, though, it wasn't good. It was more or less like, okay, Netflix, we want the money, we'll do the house.
Wow.
A lot of black hallways. Had nothing to do with the show. It was more or less a cash grab. So it was, some scares were good, some scenes were good, but everything else was just
So it's not like when we walked through The Shining, everything was The Shining.
Shining was 1,000 times better.
Okay, I gotcha. All right, so
but there was actually one good scare in that house that I do give them credit for. It was a long black hallway. You're walking down it, and you hear the kids from the show start talking in your ears. You can't see anything. All of a sudden, you hear like, "Oh, look up, look up." You look up, like one of the bodies from the show comes dropping down. I actually saw it drop down to the ground for that one. That actually really caught me off guard.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So what would you give The Haunting of Hill House on our blood splat scale? We'll do overall. We don't have to go through everyone.
3 out of 5.
3? Okay. That's
just
solid.
for the scenics.
The
Without the scenes, 2.
2. Okay. And that's weird because they usually nail the licensed ones.
This one, I think it was just more cash grab, honestly. I think they had no interest because I think this was one of the houses that got switched out from 19. Because I think 19, it was supposed to be the Billie Eilish house. Or some, yeah, I think it was the Billie Eilish house.
I gotcha. Yeah, I forgot you're supposed to have a house. I don't know how the hell you make a Billie Eilish house, but whatever.
That's another cash grab.
Yeah. So next up, I have Beetlejuice. What was the Beetlejuice house like?
Disappointment.
Oh,
it was,
really?
Yes. That one I was really disappointed about. It was like Hill House, identical to the movie. Scenes were beautiful. Everything looked the way how it was supposed to do. But scare-wise, no. There was nothing scary. There was nothing like, oh, look. It was more or less like, okay, here's Beetlejuice. You guys wanted this for years. Here you go.
I got you. So they kind of left the jump scares out and tried to hope the title kept.
Yeah, it was more or less the comedy house they wanted to do.
I got you.
How would you rate that?
Ooh, now she taking charge.
That's fine. I need her to take charge. I need her to pop in here. That's all right.
This one, same as Hill House, 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. All right. So right now, 2 houses. We're at a 3 out of 5. Maybe it's good we didn't make it down there this year.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have one of my all-time favorite movies, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So this one, definitely hands down best house. 5 out of 5.
Right, I like to hear it.
You guys are probably going to shoot me, but I've never seen the movie.
I don't know you. You can take that hoodie off. My God.
I've never seen it.
Do you
I know who he is.
See what I'm dealing with here?
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
We're hiring now at HalloweenHaunts365.com for this seat. There might be divorce paperwork. Our shit's still in that drawer, isn't it? It hasn't even been a year.
No,
where's my receipt?
It's been what, 2 months? 1 month?
It's been 11 months.
Oh, wow.
Our anniversary will be November 13th.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Happy
Oh,
almost
thank
1
you.
year.
Well, we'll see. November's still a month away, and I'm finding this stuff out. All right, so tell us a little bit more about the Texas Chainsaw House.
So this one, I believe, from my understanding, story-wise, took place after one, but before the second one.
I gotcha.
And I actually had the benefit of going through that house by myself with
Oh,
nobody. And actors in that house were ruthless
ruthless.
with the
I like it.
chainsaw. Oh, I know at one point it was middle of the house. You were in the attic. You got surrounded by 5
Oh man.
leather faces, and like since I was the only one in, I didn't know I had all of them behind me. So the second I turn around, they're all standing there behind me, like, "Yeah, we're coming to get you." I was actually scared. Like, I don't get scared like that because been to so many of these things.
Yeah.
But that actually was one of the things that got me. And actor said he actually knew us. I forget his name, but the guy that played Skin Top, if you're watching this, there's your shout out.
Now, were there different masks on the different characters, or was it pretty much uniform throughout?
It was mainly uniform. They did have the makeup face from the Dynasty.
Oh, okay.
They had Skin Top, the grandfather, the body, the corpse from the second one, if you remember, on the bridge. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what are we giving that house?
5 out of 5.
5. All right. So,
I would have had a stroke. If I had to go by myself, and 2, I hate chainsaws.
so 5 of them.
Not even the chainsaws were scary, more or less. It was the smells they had. Because you
Oh,
literally smelled like the barbecue. Just when you walked in, the first scene, barbecue, gasoline, and shit. And it
wow.
literally smelled actually kind of good.
So, it probably smelled like that house they were in one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So, while we're on that one, did you enjoy the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? The one with
there was
Which one?
the Jessica Biel one, the original remake?
Nah.
No,
Mm-mm.
not even with Arlie Ermy.
No.
All right.
The other one that came out in 14, I think it was, or 13.
Was that with the chick from the Baywatch movie?
Yeah.
That was decent. That was
That one, I
a
liked
cool-
how they went in deep with the backstory a little
Yeah.
bit.
That was a cool story. I liked how she had no idea and she ends up being like related, like second cousins or something to him or something like that.
No, I think he was like he was the brother
Oh,
or one of the cousins.
I gotcha. Yeah, I only watched it once and I was on cable, so they cut a bunch of crap out.
Yeah.
All right, so next up we had Hill House, which was 3, Beetlejuice, which was 3, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was 5.
how about the Bride of Frankenstein lives?
So this one hit and miss with me. I like the concept, but it was more or less the same house as it was when they were doing the COVID edition of Halloween Horror Nights. There was only one big change with one of the scare actors, but I gave you the review for that last year, right?
Yep.
We posted that.
Yep.
So if you guys let that review, you already know how I felt about that house. The scenes were beautiful. I say that about pretty much every house that they do because it is true. They do go all out with their scenic. But it was a boring house to me. I know about the concept of Frankenstein and all that. This really was one of the weaker houses.
I gotcha. So what are we ranking that one?
2.
2. All right. Horror Nights is dropping down in the 3-star territory. Look out.
They're becoming tamer and tamer as the years go on. From the first time I went in 2008 till now, yeah. Because I went when I was 12 years old. That was the first time I was like introduced to that event.
Yeah.
So much better. Now it's all about selfies, the pictures, and who can get videos first before anybody else.
Yep. Yeah, I know all about that.
That is
One day I'm getting to that media night. You hear me, HHN? I'm coming.
Good luck, because I actually heard you need like a lot.
Oh,
Like you need to know inside people. That's something I'll tell you later on.
All right, so we're giving that one a 2. Moving on to oh my God, Jared. HHN Icons Captured.
So second best house of the event.
Oh,
This was a major throwback house for all of like the true HHN. There we go. Now I'm making the same mistake. HHN fans. So it was you're inside Fear's Lantern, which is the main icon for Horror Nights, and inside his lantern, all the icons are fighting to be the supreme. So at the end of the house, which was actually a cool concept that I like, they changed. So like, let's say if one walkthrough at the end, Jack the Clown is sitting up on the throne. Next time you go through the house, it could be one of the other icons. So with every set change, they change out the last character. But smells in that house were beautiful. And the only negative I had, too short.
Too short.
Way too short.
Well, that's tough, especially there with those lines. The last thing you want is a short one.
The longest I waited on any line was pushing 2 hours, and that was for Hill House.
And then you get in there and it's a furry and you're pissed.
Yeah, literally, last house of the night did that. I was like, no.
Yeah. So what are we going to rank HHN icons?
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. All right. So we're back up to like a 4-ish level.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What's up next?
Welcome to Scary Horror in the Heartland.
Scary Horror in the Heartland.
So that's another 5 out of 5 right off the bat.
Oh, right away with the 5.
So this is also another throwback house. So Scary, Ohio is actually a real town in Ohio. It's called Cary, Ohio. One of the directors for Horror Nights grew up in that town. So they were looking for ideas and concept back in 2010, I think. They came up with Scary, Ohio. So like a lot of the original houses are all based in Scary, Ohio. So like they got Leave It to Me. Yeah, Leave It to Me, I think it's called. Something like that. Chainsaw Cannibal Family, vampires.
Oh, wow.
Anything you can think of happens in that town. One thing I like about that house, it's backwards. So you know how they usually have a chainsaw at the end of a house?
Yeah.
No. Right in the beginning. Right in the beginning. Not even like before you walk in the main entrance, boom, comes running right at you. I was like, okay.
That's pretty different.
But the smellers in that house actually got me sick.
Wow.
That's like I walked out of there with a bad headache. Like,
wow.
Bad.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So we already gave that a 5.
Yeah.
So
Case Files Unearthed.
Case Files Unearthed.
So that's a New Jersey house. It's literally based in New Jersey and New York.
Okay.
So extra credit for that. It's more like a Twilight Zone episode. Okay. It's based off backstory from previous Horror Nights events. Like too much to get into. Like that's 2 hours at least. So the main detective of the company started writing books, and the books started coming to life. So like you had a mall that's filled with killer mannequins. You remember the Creep Show movie, how they had the Yeti in the box?
Yeah.
That was in there.
Wait, you saw a Creep Show and you didn't see Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
That house though is really like a mashup of all the original 80 horror movie, like anthology horror movies combined
Oh.
into one.
That's a cool idea.
So it was corny, but it was interesting on how they pulled it off, especially in New Jersey, especially based in Jersey.
Yeah, I gotcha. So
I also think I might have saw a Bloodshed T-shirt in one of the scenes.
Oh,
I may
yeah?
be mistaken. I think so.
a little shout out to Bloodshed Farms. We'll be out there Friday for their drive-through.
Is it only drive-through again this year?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
When are they supposed to be coming back? Well, they
Maybe
don't
next
know.
year.
Like,
I don't think they're sure yet.
mm,
With what are we gonna give Case Files?
because of the little extra credit, 3.5.
3.5. All right, so we're jumping up to a 3.5. So right now we're overall at a 3, maybe a 3.5 total for HHN 30. All right, so what's next, dear?
The Wicked Growth.
The Wicked Growth, one of their independent ones. What did we think of that one?
So if you go on Twitter, that's the only house that people talk about.
Oh,
And it's, 5 out of 5. The
wow.
scenes, I was horrified. One part, you're just literally walking through, they have a pumpkin guy just standing there in the jail cell. I wasn't paying attention. Guy starts running. I'm like, okay. Bungee cords. He was, bungee cord right at me. I fell so fast. I died. I was almost in tears. Everybody in my group was laughing at me. I was like, yeah, bunch of assholes.
I'll tell you what,
Wow.
one of those bungee corders at Penhurst almost got me.
Oh, really?
He it was about a quarter of the way in. He was in one of the rooms, so you couldn't see him. He bungee corded out, grabbed my hat, bungee corded back, came back and threw my hat back on. That was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Scared the
Penhurst is
shit
in
out
what,
of me.
PA or Jersey?
It's Pennsylvania.
Still never been there. I need to go.
Yeah, I'll tell you more about that after.
Okay.
So 5 out of 5. It's gonna pretty much bring HHN to like a 3.54 area so far. We got 2 more houses. We'll have to see what
Back to
happens.
that house, though. I got to give a shout out to my guy in the pumpkin. I'm guessing he was the Pumpkin King. All you do is walk inside a giant pumpkin, like you're on the inside. You see, like,
That's crazy.
yeah, he's the Pumpkin King. He's a giant pumpkin with a human head. I have never seen like a costume like that, but Universal, he literally popped out of the pumpkin like that. Like, let's say
Wow.
this is the body,
Yeah,
splits open, pops right out.
that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy. All right, so what's next?
Puppet Theater.
Puppet Theater.
This one, it's a hit or miss for me. A lot of people like it. I like it for the scenic because it's based off an 1800s like puppet theater. So you're going to watch a puppet show. It explodes, like an earthquake happens and then it explodes. People get stuck on the inside. And then the people that are stuck on the inside start going nuts, turning people into puppets. House was interesting concepts, but what's the word I'm trying to look for? Not performance wise, but like the way how it came out could have been done better. I felt like it was weak. It was extremely weak.
I got you. So what do we give
Like
that one?
I want to say 2 out of 5.
All right. And now we're going to move on to the last one at HHN,
Revenge of the Tooth Fairy.
Revenge of the Tooth Fairy.
So, never say no to the Tooth Fairy. That's all I gotta say. So, pretty much, I know I did the review for it last year too with Tooth Fairy, but they actually changed up a decent amount in this to where it was actually interesting throughout the whole house, all you smell is like baby powder, lavenders, decaying teeth. Because it's based off like some 10-year-old kid. His tooth comes out, and the tooth fairy comes to collect it. He tells the tooth fairy no. So now she unleashes like a whole army of imps and goblins to go kill the kid's family.
It reminds
Because he
me.
wouldn't give her tooth.
It reminds me of that movie.
Darkness Falls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Identical to that.
So you've
But
seen
more
Darkness
fairy tale
Falls.
wise.
I seen that
But no
numerous
Texas
times.
Chainsaw Massacre.
And you've seen that numerous times. The most obscure horror movie, but like the tried and true, you never seen it.
Never seen it. I mean, I know
Have you
who
ever
he
seen
is.
any of the Hellraiser movies?
No.
Oh my god! I mean, really?
Do you know who Leprechaun is?
Yes. I've seen the first one.
Applications can be forwarded to HalloweenHaunts365@gmail.com. They got to be able to record at like the drop of a dime. At least know, more than 3 of the top killers in horror.
I know who he is. I just never seen the movie.
I know. I'm just messing with you. That's so funny to me. You've watched the most random stuff. Now, for the group out there, a little back information. Me and Terry met 9 years ago.
Yes, almost 10.
Okay, so 9 years ago, it was 2012, right? I had to introduce her to Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Harry Potter, every major movie you can think of, I had to introduce her to. And this is 2012.
I don't know.
I've came a long way.
You have come a long way. You have come a
Do you
long
know who King Kong is?
Yes. I know who Jaws is too.
Yes, you see Jaws. I mean, it was probably first with me, but
No.
That's so funny. All right, so what are we giving Revenge of the Tooth Fairy?
I want to say 4 out of 5.
4 out of
for, like
5.
the originality and the concepts behind it. Because
All
they
right.
did have a lot of unique scares in that house, and just the actors are like actually kind of. Oh, my bad, somebody was just pulling up. Actors were honestly kind of like going crazy in their spots. Like you could tell they loved what they were doing in that house.
I gotcha. So at HHN, they usually have scare zones, right?
Yeah, there was
I'm
4 of them,
counting.
I think.
I'm counting 5. We have.
Oh yeah, okay.
And
So there was the Teleclean, I think one of them was called.
there's Crypt TV.
That one was Photo Op TV, so that doesn't even count as a scare zone. That one, Universal, right off the bat, 1 out of 5.
And
Nothing.
you guys see why I brought John on 7 years ago to give honest reviews, because he's a lot like us and doesn't give a shit and will tell you what he thinks.
Like it, I have to say, makeup was well done because Clip TV, they had like a bunch of, you know who they are, right?
Yeah.
They actually weren't decent with the makeup for them, but photo ops, that's all it was. Like,
Gotcha.
scare wise, it was a joke. I literally walked through it, looked at the people, they were like, "You want a photo?" I'm like, "What?" Literally, one of the actors is like, "You want a photo with us?" I'm like, "Are you even supposed to say that?" No.
All right, so we'll move on to 30 Years, 30 Fears.
That one, 1 out of 5, 2, because that one was like another photo op section, and they really had no scare actors in there. It was like one guy on stilts, boom, you're done.
Yeah, because I remember when we went, the scare zones were popping a little bit. Like
it was Purge.
The Purge was crazy. People were getting like.
You guys went what, 25, 26?
Yeah, something like that. It was when The Shining was there. That's the biggest one I remember.
I think that was 26 because that
Okay.
was the year they had the Exorcist too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
Scare Zones now. If you guys go next year, it might just be all pictures.
It depends on the houses, because if it's this lineup, I'm going to skip the trip.
How about
So HHN, let's bring them all back. Freddy, Jason, Chucky. Let's just do 6 houses.
There's actually a talk about Chucky for next year
Oh, I'm sure, because he's got a movie
because
coming
the
out.
TV show
He's
just
got
started.
a TV show coming out, and he's got a second movie in a different timeline coming out.
Does he?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's Chucky's getting a little out of control right now, but you know what? It's horror, so I'm happy.
They did have a weird photo up though for the TV show. You know where the Men in Black light is?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're on that little like smokers bridge. All they had was like a photo up for the Chucky TV show.
Huh.
That was just out of the blue. And people are like, oh yeah, this is Chucky coming back for next year. I'm like, calm down now. We're still in the middle of the event.
No, they'll have a Chucky next year, because there's a lot of rave behind that TV show,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have another movie from the cult timeline, and then there's a whole another movie I'm hearing from the remake timeline.
The remake timeline was I didn't like it.
Nah, I didn't either. And
It wasn't Chucky.
nobody did. So it
No.
really it flopped hard.
There was that few like, oh, it's such a good movie, it's a classic. I'm like, no. I'm like, why?
Yeah. So the next scare zone would be Seek and Destroy.
So that had nothing to do with Metallica. It was more or less like the Purge area they had back in 2016 when you guys went. That area will always be the same exact scare zone concept. Either aliens, Purge, survival, or the apocalypse happened, we need to survive. The whole concept of this was aliens came down from another planet to harvest our blood to use it as gas for their planet.
And that's funny because it was an alien scene when we were there. It was a crashed spaceship.
Oh, yeah. One thing I do give them credit for, that alien now has like stage shows set up.
Oh, okay.
Whoever was playing like the queen, she did a good job. She was interacting with everybody. Like, I remember one night there was a little kid hysterical crying. She actually like broke character, helped her out. So that was actually nice. But yeah,
I gotcha.
I give that Scare Zone a 3.
How about Gorewood Forest?
So that's another throwback. She comes out every 15 years for Horror Night. She's like the Wooded Queen.
Oh.
Some shit like that. I don't know. I don't keep up with that. That was past my time.
Ah, okay. So they went way back with her.
Yeah. That one, weak to me. Every time I went through it, there was only 1 or 2 scare actors. One night I went through it, there was nobody the whole entire night.
I remember when we went, there was a trick or treat scare zone.
Yeah.
There wasn't any actors, but the set was really cool, and you had the animatronic of that dude puking everywhere.
Yeah.
So I mean, like
Yeah.
it was something, but it didn't need actors
Right.
because it was enough just walking through all the pumpkins and then the kid throwing up.
Yeah, all those pumpkins now were at that one pumpkin house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least they're reusing stuff.
Those pumpkins have been at that event since like I started going. I don't think they get new pumpkins.
The last one, Lights, Camera,
Action.
Yeah,
That one,
Eddie's Revenge.
best Scare Zone.
That's scary.
5 out of 5. So this one, it was Jack's brother, Eddie. And he is shooting all movies based off Horror Nights. So
Ah,
like previous scare zones, previous houses, they actually had on like a few special occasions the main actor that plays Jack on all the commercials and all that
yeah.
actually roaming the scare zone. So that was actually interesting.
Huh.
That's pretty cool.
Because they usually have like knockoff Jacks. But yeah, this guy that does commercials, he's actually really good. Like they're talking about like, rumors for Horror Night people. Peacock is supposedly making TV shows now, or
Huh.
going to be making TV shows for the originals.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I was actually surprised Peacock is streaming the Halloween Kills.
Yeah, isn't it out free already for them? Like this
October
week?
Friday. It'll be
Friday.
out Friday.
We're going Sunday.
We have our tickets for Sunday, so she's not letting me stream it first.
Yeah, because Peacock is, I think, what Universal is gonna be doing now with Peacock.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like the Halloween channel. So like whatever they have
It is
originally on
now.
there,
Like they're
yeah.
really catching up with HBO with the amount of
Are they?
horror on Peacock. Yeah. Peacock has them all right now. Freddy, Jason, Michael, Chucky. They're all on Peacock too.
Was it you that was telling me or somebody else that on Peacock they have their own tab for Halloween Horror Nights? Like they have their own channel on there.
I don't know. That's
So because on Rumor Mill and my little inside connections I had here and there, like I said, a lot of Universal is doing something with Peacock to do Halloween Horror Night TV shows.
Huh.
And the first two is going to be Jack the Clown and Bloody Mary, supposedly. They got the lights back for that.
Both of them have big followings, so that could be pretty good.
I'm surprised about the Bloody Mary, though, because
Well,
the lady that she has a lot of history with a lot of people. Like,
well,
bad history.
yeah. But I mean, Bloody Mary is an old tale, so they can use the HHN aspect and then use the old fairy tale aspect to it too.
They pulled it off in one of the houses this year. I think it was the Icon's house. They had like a little, here's a hallway filled with mirrors. This ain't Bloody Mary. No, this is Mary something. I was like, okay.
All right, so there's some live entertainment at HHN. I'm looking at 2 shows right now. What's that one?
So there's the Lagoon Show, which is pretty much water fountains with projections on them of all the houses. So they have like clips from Texas Chainsaw Massacre showing.
In a fountain?
Yeah. You know that big lagoon they have in the middle of the park? They have like water projections that shoot off.
What?
And they project like everything on them. So they were showing Texas Chainsaw Massacre at one point. Jack interrupts. He's like, okay, next movie. It's The Exorcist.
Wow.
It's like a 15-minute show. They do have fireworks too, which is actually
That's
the
new.
show
I didn't see any of that.
The show overall was kind of weak.
Wow. So what about
Marathon,
Nightmare Fuel?
That one.
yeah, we could do Nightmare Fuel.
That show was I highly recommend that show. Like if you watch it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. You can watch it on. I didn't even think of watching on YouTube.
They do. It's like a magic show mixed in with dancing, mixed in with horror. Oh,
technical difficulties.
My bad. I was getting a phone call. So yeah, it was like. I'm sorry. Hold on.
That's okay. It's the first technical difficulty we've had, so I can't complain.
Right.
Okay. I'm sorry about that.
There we go.
So, yeah, it was like Chris Angel and Mind Freak mixed in with, I would say, the Shining type horror. It was a lot of burlesque dancing. I remember somebody literally was laying on a bed of spikes, got engulfed with flames, and disappeared. like off the stage completely.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about Marathon of Mayhem?
That was the Lagoon Show I was just telling you guys
That
about
was
before.
the-
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up HHN. I mean, we went through all the attractions, the scare zones, the shows. Did you eat a lot while you were there? Because I really like the food they always have.
Yes. This year was definitely hands down the best for their food.
Did you try
When
the Did you try the brisket fries?
Brisket
Yes.
fries.
How was that?
Amazing.
Oh, damn.
You might fall in love with this. Grilled cheese with brisket.
That's what I
Oh
was
my-
talking about. Yeah, because Grin sent me the menu. He's like, "Look what I get to have." I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
When was he down there?
The first, I think October 1st.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But
so-
one of the things they had that I fell in love with, you know those unstuckable, I don't know why I'm doing that. You know those unstuffables? Like the peanut butter and
Oh, the
jelly-
Uncrustables.
Yeah.
yeah. They deep fried that. Honey dripped on top with chili peppers or chili
What?
flakes. I loved every second of it.
I could deep fry a crustable. Holy shit. That sounds
I-
great.
I don't know how, but they perfected it.
Wow.
And what's funny too is Florida, that surrounding area of Orlando, completely sold out of Uncrustables.
That's hilarious.
crazy.
Now, was it like a sugary batter or like a salty batter, like a fried chicken, or kind of like a
Funnel cake?
funnel cake?
I was in the middle, I want to say.
Huh. Oh, it's interesting.
Because I think they used the same batter they used for the deep fried Oreos and
Oh,
Twinkies,
okay, that kind of
Oh.
deal.
but it didn't taste like that. It tasted more like that deep fried chicken and shit.
Kind of like a corn dog type deal, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested. I'll have to do some googling.
And the funniest thing
The
they
barbecue
had
podcast is coming soon.
imagine a cherry pie with Leatherface's face on it.
Oh,
His
that's
mess.
pretty cool.
The way how the people made it, it always comes out looking like Sloth from the Goonies. One of my friends got it. He's like, "You want this?" I'm like, "Is that the Goonies?" He's like, "No, this is Leatherface." I'm like, "No, that's Goonies."
That's hilarious. So, how are you gonna rate your final, 400th trip to HHN?
Honestly, this year for that anniversary year, it was. I wouldn't say it was a disappointment. It was more of a letdown. They could have done a lot of stuff better.
I got you.
Like the original lineup that they originally had planned out was 1,000 times better. Give or take the Billy Eyelash haunted house. But honestly, I would have to say 3 out of 5 for this
3
year.
out of 5 total. All right. Well, you heard it here. HHN, I mean, even they weren't protected from COVID, because that's why.
So how about I give you guys a bonus review too?
All right.
Here.
Let's go.
So I also went down to Old Town, Mortem Manor.
Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't do a review for that, right? Or,
Nope, 'cause we were
so
doing it here.
here we go. So Mortem Manor is give or take 20-minute experience. I actually talked to the owner, really nice guy. The experience, he's actually been down to Jersey a couple of times. He said he knows the guys from Field of Screams, Brighton, and Bloodshed as well.
Oh, okay.
That experience, I was honestly surprised for what it was and for how little it was. Tickets are like $15.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. It was like Horror Night sets. Actor wise, there was like maybe a handful. It was
Okay.
more animatronics than props.
Yeah.
I remember one scene. I was walking down the hallway. You could not see anything. I dropped my phone. Lady was like, "Oh, what happened? Did your big boy pants fall off? Do you need your big woman pants?" I started dying. I was like, "Oh man." So I actually, at the end of the attraction, I talked to the owner. I know I'm jumping all around. I apologize. Owner said that that place has like a curse on it because every haunted attraction that's there lasts like 5 years. And then they always change it out to like another place. Because I think before this one, it was something. Guy closed down and moved up Cali. His business actually shut down, from my understanding. The original guy that built the property, the haunted place, Morton Manor, his stuff closed down. This guy took over. He said that everything inside, they spent about, I don't know how much they spent. I apologize. I had a brain fart. Give me like 2 seconds.
That's fine. You're fine.
So guy said that he had to redo about like 97% of the place.
Wow.
From the inside out. He was like, whatever animatronics they were using were completely destroyed. Like, they did not take care of anything in that place.
Damn.
Wow.
But plot-wise, I would say highly interesting. They had like a little marionette dummy. I thought that was an actor. I found out it was actually like a prop.
Wow.
The way how they had it set up and the way how they programmed it, I give them a full 5 stars just because of that.
Wow.
I don't even know if it was a prop, honestly. It might have been an actor, but I saw wires coming out of it, so I don't know.
Yeah, the Bates Motel got us with a lot of that. Like their props this year were, it was hard to tell what was real, what was fake, and I usually have a pretty good eye because I know when to turn around because I know she's not paying attention, so I can watch her scream.
So I'm guessing you put her in the front, or you're in the
No,
front?
it goes back and forth. Like if I feel the timing is going towards the front of the group, I'll put her up there. But if I'm feeling the timing's a little late, I'll put her behind me. Because, I mean, I've jumped one time in 9 years of going to all these all year. So, but she'll scream 3 or 4 times a night. So I like to bring that entertainment so I can really judge the fear factor. Because if I was to judge the fear factor of all these attractions just to me, they're all getting ones because I'm not jumping. None of it's scary to me. But if I watch her and I watch the other groups, is how I form that opinion.
Then you get the honest answers, yeah.
Yep. Then
Are you going to Night of Terror this year or no?
Already went.
Yes.
What?
Surprisingly pretty good.
When did you guys go?
Last Friday night.
Last Friday night.
Did
If
you?
you're watching this was like 3 weeks ago because I have 4 videos lined up. So don't worry about the timing.
How was it?
It was actually really good. The hayride had a couple new scenes, and the clown room grew, and what was that? Harvest was really good.
Yes, Harvest was changed.
Yeah, Harvest was changed around.
That's my one gripe with that place. Ever since they did that big change back in 18, 17?
Yeah. Taking out the corn maze.
Yeah, I didn't like how they combined all the attractions like that, like Headhunters.
Oh yeah.
That after that, it was like okay.
Because
and the
when you're done the corn spot of corn stalkers, you know you're entering the cave because it has the same grates in the floor.
Oh, which one? The ice cave?
No, the one before that. Headhunter cave or something.
Yeah.
Meets Slaughter Cave, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the same grates. So it was I mean, it felt longer. All the props worked. I mean, the suffocation bags were nice and plump, which was, some places have a hard time with those little details. But Night of Terror, I think we gave it a 4, right?
I think so too.
Yeah, I got to go back and look. I don't remember. We filmed that like last week. I'll be putting that out probably tomorrow.
But, have you guys been to Oasis Island? You guys
Not
went
yet.
last year, right?
Not yet. No, I have not been there.
We might have to go.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that. Yeah, we're just gonna do Bloodshed and then drive the kids around to different, yard displays on Saturday
It doesn't rain.
if it doesn't rain.
Is it supposed to rain?
Yes.
Yes. But then the following weekend we might hop back on. I mean, there's a couple more we can get to. We finished a lot of them already early, like we usually do.
Yes.
But I mean, hey, what do you got left coming?
So this weekend, it's a toss-up between Dorney Park and maybe Bates. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and replace that with Valley of Fear because I've still never been to them in my whole journey.
You got to make a trip. They're working on a new attraction. At least the last time we were there, because they didn't.
Yeah,
open
I think they
last year.
opened it already.
Yeah, it was open when we were there. It was just really
The
young.
pilot ship.
No, I didn't see the pirate ship yet.
Yeah, this year it's only 3 attractions: Hayride, the Manor, and something Willie's pilot ship.
So they got rid of Fairy Tales.
Yeah.
See, and I liked Fairy Tales, and I don't usually like those kind of attractions, but I enjoyed it. You remember the one you walk through and they had the doors that would
Yes.
separate? Yeah. Maybe we're gonna get back to Valley of Fear.
Besides those two, I don't know. I want to try and go to that one place everybody talks about, Evidence of Evil, out in Connecticut, I think it is.
Ah, okay.
They do some like blood experience where the interaction is more or less extreme, like how Field Scream does with the Blackout Night.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, there's a couple of those haunts out there that'll throw blood on you and everything.
Yeah, quote unquote McKinney Manor.
No, not that place. We don't talk about that place.
Oh, come on, that's not a haunted house to you? What?
No, not
Best
at all.
haunted house in America.
Yeah. Just hit Google because Google knows it all. Well, thanks for being on.
Thank you for finally having me.
I
Nice
know.
meeting face to face for once.
I know it's the first time I actually seen. Well, I knew what he looked like from Instagram, but we never really talked. I never heard his voice before. And if you believe it or not, I've been playing Xbox with a guy for close to 20 years. I've never met him.
Shit.
He lives 3 towns over.
Oh, wow. Are you still doing Twitch or no?
What's that?
Are you still doing live streaming or no? The Twitch stuff.
Not right now.
You should go back to that.
I
'Cause
know.
I remember you were big on that when we first started working together.
Yeah, I was trying to get that started. Right now, I'm a little bit like work's got me traveling, so it's hard to like set up a schedule. But and I want to do some Twitch stuff with this channel. Maybe once I upgrade the computer, I'll use OBS and we can do the interviews through Twitch and record them at the same time. So it'll be a little different.
Let me know. I got an empty Twitch account just waiting to be set up.
Yeah, Halloween Haunts is on there. I just haven't done anything with it yet. But yeah, so we're gonna wrap this up. John, thanks for coming on. Thanks for all the
Thank you
writing
for
you've been
finally
doing.
having me.
Make sure you hold the damn camera horizontal. I've been yelling at him for this for 8 years now, or 7 years. But John, always, we go to a lot of the same haunts. He goes to some that I can't make it to. So really, he helps us out a ton. It's appreciated. We thank you. Once we find a t-shirt that actually works, I'll send you one.
But
You have no idea the horror stories we've been having with t-shirts.
you know what East Brunswick? Well, it might be a hike for you. You know East Brunswick Mall?
Yeah.
They have a store in there. I'll go in there one day and I'll see pricing because
All right.
I know their stuff is actually comfortable, like in decent quality.
All right, cool. Because I got one off the internet that was finely printed. It wasn't vinyl blasted on, and the back ripped up without even washing it. So I'm like, why can't I just have a T-shirt? It's not
Like
that
those
hard of a
Halloween
logo.
Horror Night t-shirts. That one looks good though.
Yeah, the front is, the back's all tore up, so I had to have them replace it.
Uh,
But I also want to find a place to get them, like 100 T-shirts, so I can have giveaways and stuff, and we'll start.
Alibaba.
Alibaba, that's not a bad idea. All right. See, we're learning stuff on
look
this
into
podcast. This podcast is educational. Saul is family, Terry. See, she has no idea what we're
now
talking
you just
about.
need to watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Hellraiser.
Yeah, and Hellraiser. All right, so that's all we have for you tonight. It's been a fun tour through HHN. We have a couple more views of HHN because it's such a big attraction. We'll do one with Grin. We also have Marissa coming on, who was going to cover. That's going to be a long night. That's going to be HHN LA, Not Scary Farm, Temecula Terror.
Now that Temecula, that's the Bloodshed Brothers. Right?
Yep, their brand new attraction. We were invited to their media night, and I sent a friend of ours, Lisa, out there to cover it. It's up on the website.
Oh, you know, I was reading it when you got yesterday, the day before when it went off.
Yeah. But that's all we have for you today at HalloweenHaunts365.com, the podcast. When this ends, make sure you click the button that's going to be somewhere over here to subscribe. We're at 49. I really want to get to 1,000. So hit that button a lot. Just keep hitting it.
Keep
All
doing
right.
it. If you don't do it, he's going to fire me. I don't want that happening.
But thank you guys for stopping in to watch. HHN's always a historical night. Their production value is second to none. And maybe we'll go back next year, depending on the lineup. That's all I got for you tonight on HalloweenHaunts365.com, the podcast, where every day is haunt season. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.